AM 1300 WMEL.
What's going on, everybody? This is Soldier Hard, and welcome to the American Warrior Radio, 1300 on your AM dial, WMEL, and online at 1300WMEL.com. Sponsored by AVET Project. Can I live again? I don't even know it's real. It was for a fine life on the battlefield. Seen a lot of soldiers die on the front lines. Bombs going off when we drive by. Can I live again? I don't even know it's real. It was for a fine life on the battlefield. Seen a lot of soldiers die on the front lines. Bombs going off when we drive by. Yeah, you got questions? Garen and Glenn have answers. Pick up the phone and give them a call. Tell them Soldier Hard sent you. 321-631-1300.
Welcome to another exciting edition of American Warrior Radio, the place to be for news, notes, interviews, and current events for all issues military and veteran related. If you or someone you know has ever worn the uniform of the U.S. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, or National Guard or Reserves, you've come to the right place. American Warrior Radio, right here on the Talk to Me station, AM 1300 WMEL, and online worldwide at 1300WMEL.com, sponsored as always by AVET Project. Folks, this program is all about supporting our troops and their families, both past and present. So please get comfortable, grab a cup of coffee, and a pen and paper, because we're always efforting to bring you information that you can use and share with others. With that said, let's roll down the runway and get this show off the ground. As you all know, my name is Garen Cohn. I'm an Air Force veteran, a retired legal advocate for veterans, and founder of AVET Project. But you also know I never fly through the airwaves alone.
Good morning, I'm Glenn McGuffey. I'm also retired, well not also, but I'm retired Air Force.
You're the only one here at this desk.
And recently retired manager of the Brevard County Veteran Services team. Thrilled to be here with you today. We got some very important and informative information for you. And Garen and Kim were heavily participated in running the rest and recuperation treatment thing, and it was a cruise we've been talking to you about for a couple of weeks, 3 weeks I guess it's been, and I'm going to get started here and let Garen give you some feedback on that.
Well, I certainly will, but you know, before we do that, let's check in with our U.S. Coast Guard Station Port Canaveral with a bosun's call. Commander Perry, can you hear us? All right, we're waiting to get connected with Commander B. Perry, your commander of Port Canaveral Coast Guard Station. B, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Well, good morning to you, sir. How are things going out there at Coast Guard Station Port Canaveral today?
It's beautiful out here today. We're just getting prepared for what's going to come in tonight. Looks like some gale warning, so we're getting prepared for that.
Oh, wow. Well, first off, let me apologize for forgetting that you were there.
A lot going on here in the studio today.
No problem.
But you mentioned high seas. Now, we had, as Glenn was talking about, some warriors on our PR&R, Project Recuperation Reintegration Retreat, where we actually, kind of changed the venue. The content was the same, but we actually took them on a cruise to the Bahamas. And the seas were there was some good swells out there. During the last week and a half, we had one of our sponsors, Jeff Brown with Copout Outdoor Adventures, take one of the warriors out fishing, and it was just a one-day break that he had where the seas weren't like at 11 feet. So tell me about that. Has the ocean been boiling lately?
Oh, yeah. We had that disturbance up off the northeast that actually became a named storm pretty late in the year, but it was putting out a pretty big swell, and we're expecting the same thing tomorrow.
Well, and during their time, and I forget what day it was, you probably recall because you support these efforts.
Monday.
There was a rocket launch. I think it was on a Monday.
Right, it was Monday. The Maven went up, and we had a window, got out there, and provided security and safety zones for that launch, and everything went well. Like I said, we just got enough window that the seas subsided enough for us to get out there.
Well, tell the audience about that. When you roll your troops out there on the seas to support these launches, what kind of equipment, how many personnel are out there to do that? And what do you do actually?
Yeah, what we do is we go out with, we actually, it's a pretty big production. We work with the Air Force, got a great partnership with them. We send about 3 or 4 individuals to meetings throughout the week building up to the launch with the Air Force. Actually put a couple of personnel in the mock in the operations center there before the launch that communicate to our small boat, which usually use the 45-foot response boat we have, and usually 4 or 5 people on there, maybe even one of the Air Force personnel we take out there. And what we do is we work with the Air Force helicopters and spot any targets that may be in the safety zone or the area that's designated during the path or flight of the rocket, to keep everybody safe and just make sure that the launch goes off without a hitch, and that if something does happen, we've got a clear area for debris and whatnot that may occur if an event happens.
Okay, so that's the real purpose is to make sure nobody gets injured. God forbid the rocket were to fall apart or something.
Exactly, yeah. It's the security zone shifts over to a safety zone whenever the launch regular launch takes off. So it's basically just like any other event. If you go out there for the one of the air shows or just a regular event on the water, we'll set up a safety zone and just make sure, or a boat race. It's the same premise as that.
Sure, like the superboat races that we hold out here in Cocoa Beach.
Right, exactly, same thing. We'll set up a safety zone and just make that, because everybody enjoys the water, and if we don't mark it off and mark that area off, just to let people know that something's going on in that area, just to keep them safe.
Well, and you're effective at what you do, because Captain Jeff Brown with Copout Outdoor Adventures said that they couldn't get to their fishing spot because the coasties wouldn't let them. And I said, that's their job, Jeff.
Yeah, usually it's pretty small inconvenience, because once that thing goes off within 15 minutes or so after that thing's out of here, it's back open, and it's pretty seamless. We usually, the zone will go in effect an hour or 2 before the launch, and it's done, within 15 minutes or so after the rocket gets out of here. So it's pretty inconvenient, really.
Sure.
Yeah, and well, we know that you guys are always doing a great job, particularly for the community around here. And I understand that you might be up for an award this coming Wednesday. Is that correct?
Well, you had the Community Service Awards Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
Right, there were community service awards that the Military Affairs Council held, and they do a great job for us. I tell you, the support from those folks and along with you and with the AVET project is just unbelievable.
Well,
That's great. And
you had some nominations, didn't you? Some coasties were nominated. Did they get the award?
I haven't heard if they got the award. They're all recognized, and it's just a great day. We've done some of our guys are out there. They're already serving the community the way they serve, here with the Coast Guard. But a lot of these guys go out of their way and do events in the community, such as food drive. We got a food drive going on here at the station right now, and I just noticed today when I came in that they're overflowing with stuff that the guys have brought in from local food banks. So, I've got a really good crew here, and they just go out of their way to serve people.
well, that's excellent. And back to the rocket launch scenario. I'm curious, how do you notify the surrounding boats who may want to be anxious to get back into the safety zone after it's clear to do that? Is that done by CB radio or?
Yes, sir. What happens is usually close to about 24 hours out, our Sector Jackson will start making broadcasts every hour or so, and then as we build up and get closer, it'll go out every 15 minutes or so. Just letting everybody know that area, in these coordinates are going to be the safety zone, and we will contact them via radio. Or if we can't contact them radio, there's one of two things are going to happen. If you're out there on a boat and you're getting into that zone, you're going to have one of those big Air Force helicopters come down and hover right over you. And the Jollies don't like you to get in that area. So if we can't get there, those guys are going to be on top of you. So usually it's between our surface asset and then the eyes in the sky. We will make contact with that vessel and let them know, hey, just give us a second and then we'll let you on your way. So there's a lot of people that just go out there and everybody seems to be great. They comply with it. They'll sit outside the zone and it's a pretty good seat out there. So they sit outside the zone and then we once it's done, open the gates back up and everybody goes on their way.
Yeah, for sure. So what else? Anything else? Any other hot topics you want to discuss and let our audience in on?
Yeah, I'd like to talk a little bit about what happened over Veterans Day. We had Vice Admiral Parker from Land Area represent the Commandant in the local massing of the colors over here at Eastern Florida State College, and it was a really big event. We had all the services represented, and the Admiral came down and talked about what the Coast Guard missions are, and it was just a great day for the Coast Guard that day, having those folks down, seeing what we do here, and this was the second year we were the signature service for the massing of the colors over there.
Nice.
And,
Right.
Yeah, it was a great event. It ended up being a good day.
So,
The other thing I wanted to say,
Commander, just a second. So you have a color guard, honor guard at the station that'll go out and do these events too?
yeah, sorry, yeah, we sent a color guard over there. We had a joint service color guard. We had, our auxiliary color guard was out there.
Wow.
And
Wow.
color guards from all over the state, from veterans of World War II, World War I. We had flag crews for Sisters of the Revolution and all kind. I mean, it's the way they call it, massing of the colors. It's just a big event. There's organizations from all over bearing their flags and paying tribute to the veterans. It was outstanding. One of the other things that we did during Veterans Day is I teamed up with VTOS, and if you don't know what VTOS is, it's Veterans Innovative Hospice Care.